Hey everyone, Daniel Collins here. I'm just going to do a deck analysis on my Quad Sigilyph deck. The deck that won Week 7 of the West Coast Pokemon League. When I build a deck, I tend to start with a rough deck list off the net, and then I tend to adapt it to my play style and what I think will best deal with the metagame in the WCPL. So I'll take you through my choices. Obviously, playing Quad Sigilyph. For Sigilyph, they have the Safeguard ability, preventing all effects and damage from attacks from EX. So obviously you can't get hurt by EX, which in the current format most decks are reliant on EX Pokemon as their attackers. It's also a very good Mewtwo counter. The Pokemon I decided to go with it is Tornadus EX. I just played 2 copies, so these are the only Pokemon that I play. 4 Sigilyph and 2 Tornadus EX. I thought Tornadus EX was a better choice. Its lightning weakness is almost non-existent now in the format. Not many people play lightning attackers. Even in Rayquaza electric decks there might be one Raikou and maybe a Zekrom, if that. Also with the blow through, turn 1 60 damage can be very effective, especially against a lot of stage 2 decks where a lot of their base Pokemon have 60 hit points. So that's the reason I decided to play Tornadus EX. Also the fighting resistance with Terrakion and Landorus being around also helps. So they're the Pokemon. I only play 6, so I do mulligan a fair bit. But on my supporters, I play 4 Juniper, 4 N. I actually play 4 Skylar. It's about the only deck. Since I've played 4 Skylar in this deck, my opinion on Skylar has changed quite a lot. If you can find room for 4 Skylar and you play a lot of trainers in your deck, so you're playing a big basic deck, not a stage 2 deck, or something like electric, where a lot of your spots are taken up by Pokemon, try and fit 4 Skylar in. I find it's very handy getting in the cards you need at the right time. You can Skylar for a computer search, you can Skylar for a plus power, you can Skylar for a catcher. I just found it very useful. I have 4 Skylar, and then I have 2 Bianca. I think the Juniper and 4N are self-explanatory. I think they're pretty much the basis for every deck, and then you muck around with Skylars, Biancas and Sharons depending on what deck you play. I find this deck doesn't need a lot of draw power. You tend to stall a lot with Sigilyph and just hit with Psychic. So I just use Bianca mainly. There is a lot of items in this deck, so I find if I need to I can play my hand down and draw a lot with Bianca. Also for this deck tends to go ahead and doesn't fall behind a lot, so if you get end late in the game to 2 or 1, Bianca's in there to try and get me out of that situation. So that's my supporter line. I play 4 catchers, which nowadays with no junk arm is pretty much a staple for every deck. So I have the 4 catchers. I have 4 plus powers. This is for a lot of reasons, really. The blow through with Tornadus EX obviously falls 10 short of knocking out Emolga and Sableye on the first turn, 2 other Pokemon that people use, obviously in Darkrai, Garchomp, Altarian, sometimes in Rayquaza Electric, to set up, so it helps with being able to do 70 first turn if you can get a Tornadus EX set up. Also helps with Tornadus, if you hit with blow through and then the next turn you hit with Power Blast, you're doing 160. The only EX that's knocking out is Ho-Oh, but with 1 plus power on either of those attacks, you can knock out Keldeo or Rayquaza EX. So also plus power is just handy just to make the numbers right, especially with Sigilyph doing plus 10 for each energy. It's basically like having another energy on the defending Pokemon. It's very good for Rayquaza Electric. They realise they have to attack with Electric, so they attach 3 energy, promote Electric and Electric Ball. Now, if you attack with Sigilyph back, you're only doing 80, so that plus power will make your attack do 90 and therefore knock out that Electric. I also play 3 of each hammer. So I play 3 crushing and 3 enhanced. Basically, your Sigilyphs stalling their attackers, and you use the crushing hammers and the enhanced hammers. Enhanced hammers are mainly for Buffalont. They are probably going to have to attach a double colourless to Buffalont for it to be able to attack in good time. So the enhanced hammers is pretty much getting rid of double colourlesses off Buffalont. And normal Tornadus, if anyone happens to play normal Tornadus, maybe in a Ho-Oh deck. It's good getting rid of those double colourless. Crushing hammers, mainly dealing with Terrakion, getting rid of the fighting energy off Terrakion so it can't land crush and one hit knock out my Sigilyph. So there's the 6 hammers. One thing I didn't find in any lists was these. I play 3 super scoop ups. I find this, depending on the deck I'm playing, I might have to use Tornadus to knock out something early, or knock out its non-EX attackers, so all the opponent has left is EX attackers. And I don't want to leave Tornadus on the board, plus I don't want to leave that double colourless that's probably attached to a Tornadus on the board. So I play Super Scoop Up not only to remove Tornadus off the field completely, so it's not even an option to take 2 prizes with, but also to rearrange my double colourless energies. You only have 4, and you need to be able to look after them. So that's why I play Super Scoop Up. Also, obviously, if they do manage to attack a Sigilyph, it's really, really annoying and frustrating for an opponent if you can Super Scoop Up that Sigilyph and promote a fresh one. I play 3 Level Ball and 1 Ultra. Obviously the Level Ball search for Sigilyph, and playing only 2 Tornadus, I just have the 1 Ultra Ball. Because Sigilyph and Tornadus both have 1 retreat cost, I play 2 copies of Sky Arrow. Basically, it makes capture a non-issue. If they're trying to catch or store you, it's not a problem. And it also helps, obviously it's also there for making Tornadus EXs blow through 60 instead of 30. I play 2 Eviolite. It's pretty much just to make Sigilyph that much more of a pain in the ass to knock out. That's the reason I play 2 Eviolite. I play Computer Search, the same reason I play 4 Skylers, just to be able to get whatever you want, when you want. It's the reason I play Computer Search. I play a single Super Rod, because nothing's more annoying. The only thing more annoying than 4 Sigilyph is effectively 6 Sigilyph, or 7, possibly. So that's the reason I play 1 Super Rod, just to get Sigilyph back out of the discard. Or if I've discarded Tornadus EX and I need to get Tornadus EX back later on because my opponent plays something that I wasn't aware of, I can always Super Rod that back into my deck and get it out and then start attacking with Tornadus EX. I play 1 Tool Scrapper, mainly for Darkrai, because nothing's more annoying than Darkrai with an Eviolite on it and trying to attack with Sigilyph. If that Darkrai has no energy on it and an Eviolite, my Sigilyph is doing 10 damage a turn, so that's pretty much the reason for Tool Scrapper. And then my energy is 4 double colourless, and 8 psychic. I think 12's pretty much the common number for energies, 12 or 13. With Darkrai you might be able to drop to 11 just because of Dark Patch, but with no ways to get energy back besides Super Rod, I went with 8 psychic and 4 double colourless. So yeah, that's pretty much my quad Sigilyph deck. Yeah, so if you want to make it, you can make it, feel free. I think I've done my dash with it and we'll be moving on to something else. But yeah, should you ever want to build quad Sigilyph, feel free. Thank you.